Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Dinny Auralia Agustina Putri. My ID number is 192122094. And in this video, we are going to present about the theme and Rheme, a clause as a message. With me as moderator and the first presenter, Rizki Gunadi as the second presenter, Winda Grizela as the third presenter, Muhamad Zanuar Irsyad as the fourth presenter, Akmal Taufiqurrahman as the fifth presenter, and Zafirah Marahaeni as the last presenter. Okay, let's begin with the definition of theme and Rheme. A message comes from somewhere and leads to somewhere. And what is the theme? Theme can be identified as that or those elements which comes first in the clause. This represents the point of departure of this message from the previous one. Theme is, broadly speaking, what clause is going to be about. The theme is the first experiential constituent plus preceding constituents, if any. Themes are topical, interpersonal, or textual, corresponding to the three metafunctions, which is experiential, interpersonal, and textual. Theme may be simple or multiple. Topical theme may be marked or unmarked. In a clause complex, the entire initial clause can be labeled theme, but it will contain its own theme and Rheme. So, what about Rheme? The rest of the clause is called the Rheme. New information is typically contained in the Rheme. One of a pair of textual functions of the clause, the other being theme. Rheme is that part of the clause which is not theme. Typically carries the new in the information structure, but there are many exceptions to this. For example, I come from down in the valley. I as a theme and come from down in the valley as the Rheme. I, the position, is in the beginning. I tell us that the clause is about me or the singer. In this case, it relates the text to its context. We retrieve the identifier of I from outside the text. In this case, the person singing the song, adopting the role of the main participant in the song. The new information in the clause down in the valley, in this case, a prepositional phrase or realizing a circumstance, and comes at the end. So, how theme and Rheme works? Theme represents this is what I'm talking about, and the Rheme is this is what I'm saying about it. In terms of looking at a clause as a message, the theme looks backwards, relating the current message to what has gone before. The Rheme points both backwards and forwards by picking up on information which is already available and adding to it by presenting information which was not there before. The interaction of theme and Rheme governs how the information in the text develops. Information prominence can be summarized in the following diagram. You can see at the picture. As thematic prominence decrease, informative prominence or newness increase. Next is types of theme. The theme can be divided into a number of categories: ideational, textual, and interpersonal. But here I'm just explain the ideational. For the textual and interpersonal will be presented by the next presenter. The ideational or topical theme is usually but not always the first nominal group in the clause. Topical themes may also be nominal group complexes, adverbial groups, prepositional phrases, or embedded clauses. In the unmarked case, the topical theme is also the subject. A topical theme, which is not the subject, is called a marked topical theme. The term marked is used because it stands out. It attracts attention because it is not what normally expects to find. So here is the example. For unmarked topical theme, which is nominal group as theme. In sentence, Jack went up the hill. In here, Jack as the theme and went up the hill as the rhyme. Next is in nominal group complex as theme. In the sentence, Jack and Jill went up the hill. Jack and Jill as the theme and went up the hill as the rhyme. For embedded clause in the sentence, what Jack and Jill did was go up the hill. In here, what Jack and Jill did is the theme and was go up the hill is the rhyme. Next is marked topical theme. In adverbial as theme, in the sentence, down Jack fell. In here, down as a theme and Jack fell as the rhyme. In prepositional phrase as theme, in a sentence, up the hill, Jack and Jill went. In here, up the hill as a theme and Jack and Jill went as a rhyme. Complement as a theme. In sentence, his crown he broke. In here, his crown as a theme and he broke is a rhyme. The term of a clause extends to includes the topical theme. Therefore, elements which precede the topical theme are also thematic, but elements which comes after the topical themes are not.
Okay, let's talking about textual theme, another kind of the theme. Okay, this is the one of the theme who give a clause its context. As usual, it's divided into three. Textual theme consists of continuity, conjunctive adjunct, and conjunctions or structural. Continuity is a signal that someone is starting a new move in an interaction. Like example, you can use well, okay, right, by the way, anyway, perhaps, and etc. And all of these indicate that the speaker wants to go on and switch to another topic. For example, like this. Okay, let's talking about this. Or alright, let's move to another topic like that. Next is conjunctive adjunct is relative flexible in position. And then conjunctions or structural is relatively static in position. Okay, let's check an example here. Well, on the other hand, we could wait. In this sentence, let's analyze could wait. Here is a rhyme, and we here is the topical theme of this clause. So whatever comes before it is considered part of the theme. So well is continuity, on the other hand is conjunctive, so therefore both of them are textual theme. The important is that every major clause has a topical theme, so that it is the obligatory one. Okay, let's check the another one. Here we got a sentence, well, we on the other hand could wait. So how do you analyze this one? Is it well is continuity, we is topical, on the other hand could wait is conjunctive? Is it true? Okay, let's see the correct one. Please beware, guys, because whatever appears after the topical theme is not a theme. That must be remembered. So, here let's analyze. On the other hand, cold white is a rhyme because it is appear after the topical theme. Here, we is the topical theme, and well is continuity, and it is the textual theme. So that the border is topical theme. Please remember, after that we consider it rhyme. Okay, nothing else. After that, we consider it rhyme. Remember, the border is the topical theme. Okay, let's continue to the interpersonal theme. The interpersonal theme consists of three elements. There are modal adjunct, vocative, and finite. Modal adjunct is word like maybe, usually, perhaps. And then vocative is when you call somebody's name to indicate that you are talking to that person. For example, like Rudy, where are you going? Or Septian, have you eaten? Like that. And then the last is finite. Is like the, does, did, and then add polarity, and then common adjuncts. Okay, let's see the example here. The word of she may be right, and basically the same with maybe she is right. Okay, let's analyze. In this first clause, the word she is the topical theme. Therefore, maybe right is rhyme. That is the first sentence, but in another sentence, maybe she is right. The word maybe is placed at the front of the topical theme. So, it is considered that it is the interpersonal theme. So here, the rule of this theme is quite simple. It has to come before the topical theme. If it is come after the topical theme, so it is not longer considered as interpersonal theme anymore. So it is a rhyme. So we can analyze in this clause. Maybe she is right. Maybe is the interpersonal theme because it comes before the topical theme, and C is the topical theme, and the rest of the word right is rhyme. So that the rule of interpersonal theme. So you have to remember the rule is that it has to come before the topical theme. Thank you.
Alright, I'm Winda Grizela and I'm gonna tell you about clause as theme in a clause complex. In a hypothetical clause complex, if the dependent clause comes first, then the dependent clause is treated as the theme for the whole clause complex. Each clause also has its own theme rhyme structure. Alright, we can look at the PowerPoint. If the dependent clause comes first, that's the theme, and then it is the theme for the whole clause complex, that's the rhyme. And then if the dependent clause comes first, if as structure, the dependent clause as topical, and then that's the theme, comes first as the rhyme, and the whole is the rhyme. Alright, we can look at another example. Then it is the theme for the whole clause complex. Then is structural, it is topical, and that's the theme. Is the theme for the whole clause complex is the rhyme, and the whole is the rhyme. Alright, the next one is thematic equatives. According to Division 2004, page 119, In semiotic equative, the clause has two constituents linked by a relational process, and the theme is usually in the form of WH cleft. It is said as a thematic equative since the theme of the clause and the element of the rhyme is equated and their place can be changed to each other, and the theme and rhyme have the relational process identifying. These occur in certain identifying clauses where the theme and rhyme are equated with each other. They almost always involve nominalization. However, we can also change the position of the rhyme to act as the theme of the clause. Alright, we can see at the PowerPoint. For example, what we wanted to do was wait until next week. What we wanted to do is the theme, and was wait until next week is the rhyme. And then the next one is predicated themes. The predication is aimed at emphasizing a constituent. These are taken from it plus B plus. For example, you can look at the PowerPoint. It was the lecturers who made the decision. It as a theme was the lecturers is rhyme, and that's the theme. Who is theme made the decision is rhyme, and that's the rhyme. And then another example is it was suggested that they wait. It as the theme was suggested as rhyme, and that's the theme. That is structural, they is topical, and that's the theme, and wait is the rhyme, and the whole is the rhyme. Alright, that's from me.
My name is Muhamad Zanuar Irsyad, and my student's number is 1921222102. Here I would like to explain about the theme and mood. So far, most of the examples that we have discussed have been clauses which have declarative moods. We also need to consider the theme in interrogative, imperative, and exclamative. So there are four types theme and mood that we would like to discuss, and I would like to discuss two of them. The first one is the theme and interrogative. Here the finite precedes the subject, and thus the thematic if the subject is also topical theme. So for the example, did we decided to wait? Did as finite, we as subject, and did we as a theme, and decided to wait is a rhyme. Okay, in the other example is on Saturday, will you be going? On Saturday is a theme, and will you be going is rhyme. On Saturday is a mark as tropical theme, and the finite comes after, so it is not thematic. Okay, the next one is the theme in interrogative. In the case of WH interrogative, the WH element alone is a thematic. For example, what time is the exam? What time is theme, and is the exam is rhyme. In the other example is who are you trying to kind? Who is a theme, and are you trying to kind is a rhyme. Okay, there are two ways of treating theme in imperative clause. The first one is either as a rhyme only, and the second is treat the process as a theme. For the example is write your name in the upper right hand corner. All the text is a rhyme, and in the second the process of the theme, write is a theme, and your name in the upper right hand corner is a rhyme. We can see the rationale for treating the process as a theme if we look at the text that is orientated towards doing, such as the set of instructions below. First, plug the flex into a 240 volt AC outlet. Secondly, switch the power on, and the last, push the button on the control panel. Here, the focus is on doing, not on who is doing it. So, we could argue that the process is thematic. Thank you.
Theme in exclamative. Before I talk about it, I want to re-explain definition of theme and rhyme. So, theme is the main point or essence of a sentence, and rhyme is an extension of the core sentence. It's usually used to understanding relationship between sentence. Now moving to the theme in exclamative. Theme in exclamative consists of WH element plus either a nominal group or an adverbial group. It usually used when we express something, especially something good for us. For the example, let's see this sentence. We have, "What a beautiful day it is." Now, what a beautiful day is the main point of this sentence, so we can call it a theme. And it is referred to that beautiful day, so we can call it a rhyme. Now, let's see another example. We have, "How divinely he danced." How divinely is the main point of this sentence, and he danced is referred to that divinely dancer, so we can call it a rhyme. I hope you understand until this point. Now let's talk about theme component. Theme was divided into three meta-functions: textual, interpersonal, and ideational. Textual theme has three components. First, he has continuative, such as well, okay, and each other. Next, it has structural, including conjunction or WH relative. And finally, it has conjunctive, including adjunct. Now, let's see, there are interpersonal theme. Interpersonal theme has three components. First, there are modal or adjunct. Then there are finite component, and finally there are WH interrogative. And finally there are ideational theme. Ideational theme has topical component, including subject, complement, or circumstantial adjunct.
Okay, next is about theme and text. We have already suggested that the dependent or hypothetical clauses which precede the independent clause, they are modified are considered thematic in a clause complex. Another extension of the principle of theme is to the topic sentence of a paragraph. We could look at the topic sentence as the theme of the paragraph, or we could extend it further by regarding the introductory paragraph of an expository essay as the theme for the rest of an essay. What we find here is the same pattern repeated on different clauses, but the proportional relationship hold. Let's next to the theme and new information. Another important aspect of how text develop is through the interaction of theme and new information. As information has been presented in the text, it is it is then available to be developed. Information can be either be picked up as the theme or it can be accumulated as new. This is illustrated with a short text. Okay, so here the example is taken from a song Finishing Touches by Warren Zevon. So we can find here is I'm getting tired of you. So I as the theme and you as new. Next example is you are getting tired of me. So you as the theme and me as the new. In this text, the participants are introduced in the first line, the singer as the theme and the addressee as new. In the second line, the positions are reversed, so the addressee as the theme and the singer as new. This is the last example is, it's the final actor of our little tragedy. It is the theme and the final actor of our little tragedy as new. So why? The final line is the summarizes all information in the previous two lines as it presents. This is a theme. Then using a relational identifying process adds new information which also summarize the previous text using our as a possessive dictic to include the participants and final act and little tragedy in a nominalized form to reformulate all the previous information as new. This is just small example, but it illustrates interaction between theme and new information in the development of a text. Okay, so next is theme and text development. There's two texts. Are answers to the question, are governments necessary in Australia? The texts have been written for this book but are based on genuine answers to the same question. So the texts are analyzed for the theme below with a discussion of the differences in the theme patterns following. If only a component of the theme is topical, then only theme is written. But I know this analysis have been when we looked at the example, like I think I is the theme and think is a rheme. Also, governments are necessary, government is the theme, and are necessary is a rheme. If we looked at this example, if you want to know what is a theme, what is a rheme, you can look at the previous video of my friends because my friend has explained it. Maybe I can explain the theme components for meta function. So meta function has a textual, interpersonal, and ideational. So textual have a components of theme, of continuative, like well, okay, etc. Structural, a conjunction or WH relative. So next is conjunctive or adjunct. Next is interpersonal. Interpersonal meta function has a modal, also has component of theme like modal or adjunct, finite, also a WH interrogative. And next is ideational. Ideational is have a component of theme like topical, like subject, complement, or circumstantial adjunct. Okay, so we can look at the example of text 1. Because if there weren't any. Because is the structural, also if is the structural. So then because and if is the textual theme, and there is topical theme. As there weren't any as a rheme. And next is, and people would be killing each other. And is as the structural, also people as the topical, and would be killing each other as a rheme. And here is a topical theme. Also People is a topical theme. And would be killing each other is a Rheme. Maybe we can move to the text, to the second text or text 2. In Australia, there are 3 levels of government. In Australia is the marked topical theme. And there are 3 levels of government is a Rheme. Okay, next example is first, the federal government is necessary for the big things. First as the conjunction and the federal government as the topical theme also is necessary for the big things is Rheme. And first included textual theme. The conjunctive textual themes at the beginning of each subsection of the text the linked up to the piece of new information. They introduce new reason. So they operate at the text organizing level rather than at the sentence organizing level. Even within subsection of the text, we find a similar pattern of organization. The conjunctive, for example, provides a link between one sentence and another. The contrast between the two links is not what the writer is trying to say, but it's how they said it. The writer the first utilizes theme patterns typical of face-to-face interaction of speaking. The writer of the second text used patterns more typical of writing, give the text a more explicit rhetorical structure. Okay, so hope you guys can understand what I have explained it. Maybe that's enough for me. Thank you.
Maybe that's all from us. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.